Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Julia here from Made by the Chef, and today I have got for you carb heaven. So, all those carb haters out there, sorry, but today is an absolute carb fest. It is a Turkish classic known as Perdeli Pilav, which is veiled rice. It's wonderful, fruity, nutty, sweet rice that's encased in some puff pastry. It is beautiful. It's the perfect antidote. It's the perfect comfort food when you've had a long day. Everyone will love it. I've got kids, 3 of them. 2 of them are big strapping lads, big old giant teenagers. Bottomless pit. I'm sure all the parents out there will relate to me when I say that. Stomach's like a bottomless pit, and this one is an absolute whole filler. They will love it. So I'm going to change the camera angle. I've got my induction hob out. Going to focus it in on the dish, and we are gonna cook. So I've got the camera angle set up over the pot so you can see. Yeah, I still haven't bought all that fancy YouTube equipment. Really got to sort that out. Anyway, now, what is going in? This amazing veiled rice, this Perdeli Pilav. Oh, so, of course, rice. Now, I've got basmati rice. I'm using about 500 grams. Of course, I'm going to make it fruity. So, I've got some nuts. I'm going to toast in the butter, and I've got some dried fruit as well. Get some herbs. I've got a little bit of coriander. I'm going to chop that up, put that in. I've got butter because rice loves butter. Okay, so I'm going to put my butter in. That's about 150 grams to about 500 grams of rice. Sometimes I do tend to use a little bit more if I'm feeling a bit extra naughty. Now, why is it called Perdeli Pilav? Because it's encased in puff pastry. Right, so I've got ready puff pastry. You are not going to be making the puff pastry. Life is way too short for that. You are going to be buying yourself some puff pastry, ready rolled, even better, in a pack. I've got a couple here just in case. I've got my tin. I've got a cake pan I'm resting my rice on. I've got a cake tin here. If you've got a pie dish, that's really good. That will work equally as well. Now, I've got stock, so I'm using vegetable stock here. I've got about 500 mils. Make sure your rice is washed and rinsed off. Give it a good wash under the tap until the water's run clear. It's sizzling, it's bubbling away. I turn the heat up a little bit. I'm going to turn it back down just to calm it down a little bit. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my fruit and my nuts. Now listen, I'm going to tell you something. With this kind of dish, this is the perfect little use up last night's leftovers kind of dish, okay? So don't worry if you don't want to make the rice. You've already got rice that you had from last night. Brilliant, use that. So I'm already getting a beautiful aroma from the nuts and the sultanas and raisins that are there. Oh, it's just so lovely. So I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon in there as well because I love cinnamon. Give that a mix. Oh, so aromatic now. This rice is going to be beautiful. Now, like I said, I've got some coriander, which I'm going to chop to put in at the end, just to give it some nice flecks of green. So now, that's been sizzling away for a few minutes. I'm going to add my rice. So there's my rice. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stir that in. Make sure that your rice, every grain, every part of it is coated in that wonderful buttery, fruity, nutty mixture. Now you don't have to cook this rice completely all the way through, so you don't want to put loads of water in there because it is going to still steam a little bit and cook a bit inside the pastry when you put it in the oven. There's my stock. I'm using veggie stock. You can use chicken stock. Works just as brilliantly. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm probably using about 500 mils. So I've used about 500 grams of rice. I'm using about 500 mils there of the rice and the water, the stock. I'm going to leave that now. I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to let that simmer on a low heat. I'm going to turn it down as it's come to the boil. Turn it right down. I'm going to let that simmer until the rice is almost cooked. So there it is, my beautiful friends. The rice is cooked. That took about 10 to 12 minutes. Oh, you can see that lovely steam coming off it now. The rice is cooked. The grains have opened up a bit. Absolutely beautiful. Not 100% totally cooked, but almost there. We're actually going to set that aside. I'm going to add my chopped coriander to it. I'm going to sprinkle that in. I'm going to set it aside because what we want it to do is cool off. What we don't want to do is put hot rice into our pastry, because then you'll end up with a soggy bottom and you're not getting on British Bake Off with that. So the rice is almost cooled down. So now what we're going to do, we're going to line our tin with our pastry. So what you want a little bit of melted butter. Okay, get yourself a pastry brush. Make sure you've got a nice tin or pie dish or whatever it is. And if you want, what you can also do is have some sesame seeds to hand or some nigella seeds. So they're the little black ones that look like sesame seeds, yeah? So nigella seeds as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to have those ready so that you can then sprinkle them on top when you finish making up your wonderful pie. So let's get to it. Right, so there's our butter. So I've melted it a bit and I'm just going to quickly brush the tin. Depending on the quantity of your dish, of your amount of rice, then it will depend on how much pastry you'll need. Now you'll want a bit of overhang. There it is, you're opening it out. That's it, already rolled for you. Don't even have to worry about that. Oh my gosh. And then I'm just gonna lift it and then just push it down into our dish, right? So there you go. There's your pastry. Let's move those out of the way. There's your pastry. You can see my little line, but that won't notice once you put your rice on top. And then, because what we're going to do is once we fill it, we're actually going to fold these over. But I've got quite a bit here, so should be able to take a little bit off, just so that we've got a few little strips so we can create a little crisscross pattern on the top. So I'm going to use my scissors, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a bit of that pastry so that way, and I'm going to roll it up, put it in the fridge so it stays chilled. Right, my friends, let's assemble this beautiful pie. So rice cooled down, as I said, and we're going to get it in there. So what you want to do is you want to put the rice into the middle. So that's what you're looking for, like a mound in the center. And then you're going to get your chicken. You're actually going to pop that around the sides. There we go. That's perfect. Actually, I can probably add a bit more rice. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to bring the pastry over. And as you do that, what you want to do is you want to have a bit of egg handy. So a little bit of egg that I've cracked and beaten. And I'm just going to brush each bit of pastry as I bring it over. And then that final little piece is going to go over like that. There we go. See, that's what you're looking for. That lovely little mound. You see where it comes up. That's what you want. There's my little strip of pastry, and I'm actually going to just cut some more off there, just so it's nice and straight on the end. That's it. And then you want to just make sure you measure it. So I'm going to probably cut it in half, and then I'm going to halve them each. In fact, I'll probably get a third based on the thickness of what I've cut. Just finish brushing it again. And then we're just going to place the strips over the top. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Brush each strip as you go. And that down a bit. Oh, that's so good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to finish that off with a few sesame seeds. Because of course it just looks so much prettier as you put those on. And we're going to sprinkle some nigella seeds on as well. And this is all going to go in the oven at around 170, 180 degrees. Gas mark 4 or 5. I'm going to let that cook until it's nice golden brown, it's puffed up and it's gone all crispy. Hello my friends, the pie is done. I say pie, I think this is like the pie of all pies. This wonderful veiled rice, this Perdeli Pilav as we call it. Oh my God, absolutely beautiful. Look at that, it's so gorgeous. Perfect for a celebration, perfect anytime. They serve this at weddings, and do you know what the rice represents? It represents abundance. Yes, my friends, isn't that so beautiful to give that message to the bride and groom that there is abundance in their lives? And do you know what? There is abundance everywhere. We've all got abundance. Remember that. You've got to know it. You've got to believe it. You've got to say it. You've got to just feel it. There is abundance in all our lives. Doesn't matter where we come from, where we've been. There is abundance everywhere. So have a wicked day. Have an abundantly wicked day. Stay home with me, and I'll see you again soon.